よく詰めなさい。私はガブリンです。今日はタオに乗ります。僕のチンチンでのけだよ、昨日も。
Konnichiwa, my plebes, my weebs, and my trusty thebes.
Cultured Casual, back at it again. Every tabletop nerd's favorite ASMR channel, where I use my semi-sexual sotto voce to describe to you a little bit of gaming history and a little bit of painting tech. Hi, Sasha. So as I said in poor Japanese at the beginning, today we're going to be talking about the Tao here.
So I won't waste too much time on the history, but suffice to say that the Tao, conceived in the early 1990s by Gav Thorpe, were one of the later additions to the Warhammer 40,000 universe, along with the Necrons. But unlike the Necrons, who drew from a lot of that kind of Egyptian equivalent like the Tomb Kings used to be, the Tao were supposed to draw upon something completely new, namely Japanese mecha anime. And for this reason, even though they have almost nothing to do with Japan in actuality, this is somehow still labeled as the Weeb Army, hence the aesthetic I chose for today.
Now, I'm not going to lie, I've always thought of these two emerging factions, the Tau and the Necron, as the easiest kinds of models to paint. Because, as you know, the Necrons are mostly metal, so it's mostly just base and dry brush, and the Tau are pretty much the same way, just in, more specific areas. So for the most part, when I did my Tau, they were always just flat colors with a layer of dry brush and maybe some edge highlighting.
I don't think I need to insult your guys' intelligence here. It's a dark undercoat with base colors on top of that, and dry brushes on top of all the base colors you lay down after that. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and you've seen it 1,000 times before, so I won't really repeat myself here.
So instead of going through the step-by-step like I usually do, I am going to do something a little bit different for you today. You see, it would be easy enough for me to just do what I usually did with my Tau before and leave them as basic, but because the Tau are so basic already, my thought process is, why not spice them up a little bit? Why not use this time to practice my technique and do something different with my painting? And for that, I can't just stay stuck in my own little bubble. I need to go elsewhere.
Just watching all the glowy stuff there got me thinking, what if I just, asked a professional on how to do the glow in the eye sockets there like I did from before. So I'm not gonna attempt it. I've got my sensei here who's gonna teach me how to do it.
I'm eating popcorn. And you want it to go from red on the outskirts, orange, and then yellow is your brightest. I would put red in here, and then I would do like a red dry brush, personally, because since this is going to be the heaviest pigmentation, you want to do this first, and then build this on top of it, and then that on top of it, because essentially you're taking a cylinder, and if your light source is coming from the top of the cylinder, the darkest part near the base of the cylinder is going to have a little bit of that residual. It's still going to get light, but it's not going to be nearly as vibrant as it would be from there.
So we got our red base there. So now it's just a matter of dry brushing up or just highlighting it.
Yeah, so let me take our orange and we fill in this area, right?
Yep.
And then we take that yellow. Okay. And we would not only fill the center part in, but we could even do like this outer edge.
Yeah.
And like edge highlight. And you could go obviously like center here, and then edge highlight here on this yellow part. And then you could even,
A little extra edge on the sides.
imagine that this rectangle is your edge.
Yeah.
You would want to have at least a half to 1/3 of it be your brightest color for white, So if you edge highlighted this edge and all these edges with the orange or the yellow and the white, you'd want both colors to be present. You'd want the white to be a little probably less present,
Yeah.
just because that's only gonna catch on the very inner corners of that line. Because the paint is already pretty thin, it's gonna be a little hard to get it. We might need it. And then where's your red?
We seem to have had a little incident with base coat stuff, so we had to go back in with some contrast paint and get it all nice and reshaded. But yeah, so far I think we've managed to salvage it. Thank you, base coat god.
The thing about light is that it will fill all space that it comes in contact with, even a little. Even if you're not trying to like make it hyper realistic and you just want it to be recognizable, it's gonna sell a lot better if you really pay attention to the angle that the light is coming from and the intensity of the path of the light. So right in front of his eye, over the top of this blaster, this part is going to be the brightest, and then this is going to be a little less bright, but overall this path in front of his eye is going to be quite vibrant.
Taking the first step into a larger world. So thank you, Crow, for that one.
Don't worry about it, man.
I mean, yeah, it's a little different than what I usually do, but I think it looks pretty good though. So now let's do something even more fun, shall we? Up till now, you guys have seen me paint this stuff, but rarely have you seen me take it out for a spin. I'm terrible at playing Tau, and I've got a play date tonight with my friend Dan, who's a big Blood Angels and Orcs player. As you know, those two are big melee factions, and the Tau are not. So let's see how this goes, shall we?